Well, we are going to one of two sites here in Cape Breton with some landowners who are planting on those sites. They're doing white pine and red oak. I'm looking forward to it. Hey!
How's it going?
Good, how are you? Good to see you. Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm here with Issac with Farquhar Restoration. And we're in Cape Breton, beautiful Cape Breton. And we're about to take a look at some of the sites that Issac planted this summer.
Normally my business works for the pulp mill, and we plant thousands of spruce seedlings up in the highlands and around Cape Breton. And this project is an alternative to that, a way to introduce underrepresented native species into clear cuts. This is Boxhole Farm. Our block is just up the hill there. These are the red oaks that we're planting with the red leaves, and as you can see, it's quite a colorful forest anyway, but we're just adding in a new shade of red. I know they like a rich loam soil that's well drained yet holds some moisture. And I'm sure in the fungal networks, there's a lot of benefit through having more hardwood trees that would be around in a primeval Acadian forest, but are since have been mostly eradicated.
Well, it's a little cold up there, I will say. Back in the day, all of the red oak was cut down, shipped off to England, where they used it for their furnaces. And similar for white pine, a lot of it was cut because of ship mast building. And so he's putting in some of those white pine and red oak to reintroduce a species that is native to the area. So the landowner has all of this land here, about 900 acres total. She also abuts the Margaree River. In that river, there's a history of salmon fishing. And so the salmon will come up the river and spawn, and it's one of the few rivers left in Nova Scotia, actually, that still has salmon.
My name is Anita, and the property, most of it is woodland, and it hasn't been aggressively forested, but I'm delighted that we have the opportunity to reintroduce species that have really not been the oak and the pine, and so I'm very interested in the long-term vitality of the forest.
Yeah.
This area would have been populated in the 1800s, and they were just small farms where you had some cows and chickens, and most people would heat with wood. It's a hard scrabble type of life, not easy.
We are going to site number 2 for the day with landowner named Anita. So we're going to go see another white pine and red oak planting site. Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you.
It will be 3 years this November that I will have owned this land. And we went through the land after an aerial photo was done, and there's about 26 different ecosystems that exist here. And I had the vision of the Acadian forest coming back. That was what I wanted.
We planted sugar maples in the understory and a few oaks here and there. Nowhere in this block is it just one species, it's all intermixed together. And I think this kind of up here is where you start to see some signs of a fire.
The forest fire was started by some smugglers who wanted to head off the police while they smuggled drugs into the area. So they set a whole forest fire to distract the police. Even though you may not see these trees completely, grown and what becomes of the land, I know you've kind of had a vision of what you'd like this to be as well.
I wanted it to be a healthy property.
Yeah.
Just healthy.
Yeah.
And it was not. I didn't have TLC for a long time. I'm doing this, I'm not going to say for fun, but it is kind of for fun.
So I think in order, to do projects like Issac is implementing, you really need to get to know landowners and understand the communities in the area and what the landscape needs. Well, thank you guys so much for hosting us and showing us around the project. We're really grateful to have spent time here and see what all y'all are up to, and it's really incredible work, so thanks a lot. See us around.